Good evening, everyone, and welcome to PNRGT3 Cup Round 7 in Japan, particularly at the Suzuka Race GP circuit. You're with me here in VCPB's HQ, where my business is run and kind of going from, and it's going to be, and it's the home of the Pretty Ninja racing community as well. Not being sidetracked, it's a bit messy, so apologies for the mess, but there's been a bit of DIY going on recently. So today the drivers are driving at Suzuka GP, as I just mentioned. The league is incredibly close between J-Sky, Jamski and Hewis. So without further ado, let's get straight into the practice session and see how the drivers get on. So I'm going to hit that one. There we go. So we're straight in. Practice sessions usually quarter of an hour long, and we just have a kind of a nice little catch-up during this state. We're on board with our current championship leader, J-Sky. If the driver tiles are working tonight, let's have a little look. They are. Lovely stuff. So J-Sky is currently our championship leader, only by about 8 points off the top of my head. To the man that he's just overtaken, Hewis, who is not having the best of time at Suzuka, as we can see by that spin out. And just decides to cut the grass a little bit and heads back to the pits. So Hewis needs to try and put the pressure onto J-Sky this evening, but understandably it's going to be a little difficult. In P3 in the championship, it's this guy, Jamski, who has been very consistent throughout the championship in being within the top 3 to 4 places, but just keeps on spinning the car out and just not having the consistency to just get through the race without losing the rear end at some point. Now, the AMG, in theory, should be the better suited car for Suzuka GP, and it is a quality circuit. Absolute quality circuit, famous for the Ayrton Senna and Prost crash on T1 during the 1994 World Championship, I think. But in theory, yes, the AMG should be the all-round best car around here, with its front downforce modifications and heavy rear downforce, keeping the car nice and stable and higher cornering speeds. But J-Sky seems to have figured out a way to keep it quick. We know, well, I know from a previous practice session, which wasn't streamed, that J-Sky can get under 2 minutes. Just. So we'll keep an eye out for that. Drivers that have changed their vehicle. Lemon has moved over to a BMW in the 91 numbered BMW, my personal favourite BMW, 91, because the year I was born. So that'll be updated in the championship. So he's no longer the lonely McLaren. Now the GT3 BMW M6, one of the hardest cars to handle, in all fairness, in the GT3, but I think Lando has definitely found some form of setup in this. In theory, the BMW should be one of the strongest GT3s out there, but it just doesn't seem to be the case in this game. Does sound nice. And to let off the throttle a little bit there, not able to carry as much pace as they would like. Who else is driving tonight? Mark Coulson, our South African, had a disconnect in the last round, in round 6. Still got the points though. It was at the end of the day, he couldn't finish the race due to, you know, something out of his control. So hopefully Mark will have a good race and be able to have his power on the whole stint this evening. It's chilly in here this evening. Just whack on the heating just a little bit. Oh, pardon me. Deary me. I hope you've all had a good Monday. And that you're all doing fine. So this is the penultimate round of the PNRGT3 Cup. I think it's gone down pretty well. I just think a lot of the community members, after we did an ACC event, have realised that AMS2 GT3 cars are not particularly that great. Very much a lack of grip, apparently. So who knows? Who knows what we're going to do in the future. However, a new series, the Ultimate Sim Racer, which you may have seen the trailer on our YouTube channel, Pretty Ninja Racing, will be starting. Oh, look, there's a random pit stop right back there. Dear me, there's just too many little problems in this game, I've noticed recently. Lewis gets on the power nice and early. Oh no, sorry, Coulson gets on the power nice and early. Needs to get a much better lap time than a 2:15. And he does with a 2:04.396. So a 2:04.4 really. Yogi having mic problems this evening. The number 77 AMG been fantastic the whole series. In all fairness, so consistent and getting points for Team Jamyog, who are currently leading the team championship. So they're not winning personally, but they are winning as a team. As Jamsky just goes over the line and says a 2:01.699. Let's just go on board with Jamsky. In fact, let's just hit all. And J Sky takes the lead by 1 or 2 tenths, really. 2 tenths. There's Hewis spinning out there, not having the best of time. She's going to go flat, lets off a little bit. A little bit of a squirrel there. Oh, and Jamsky comes over the timing line with a 2:01.4. So, okay, this is a lot closer than I thought it was, in all fairness. At the top, as we have a look at Letterme, a latecomer into the championship. Sorry, my dog is just inside the house looking out the back doors and just staring at me, bless her. There she goes. Now she goes. Just couldn't help but stare back, bless her. So, oh, as Yogi moves up to P3 in my gaze into my doggo's eyes. So let's take a look at the current championship standings. Nope, wrong one. Championship standings. Go back to broadcast. Then go to table. There we go. Oh, apparently we need to give it our consent. So let's just quickly do that. Interact. There we go. Done. So J-Sky is leading the way with 190 points. Only 7.5 points behind is Hewis, who, quite frankly, is going to struggle to get a good result here. Jamsky in third place. As you can see how consistent Jamsky has been, but just not quite consistent enough. Dropped too many points down in Montreal and Jerez, really, to keep the fight up to J-Sky and Hewis. But again, Jamsky's only 13.5 points behind J-Sky. Yogi in P4 with 144. He can cement his P4 position probably today, in all fairness. All depends on where Stuart, the Lazy Camel, finishes, who is currently on 125 points. Mark Coulson's in 6th, Bo Dixon in 7th, Lando Morris Minor in P8. It says there that he's driving McLaren, but he's not. He's now moved to BMW with 95 points. Will be breaking the 100-point barrier today, which is great. John Connor Max, who sadly isn't driving with us this evening due to family reasons, which is absolutely fine. Savage Paddy sadly not here, and Letterme, as you can see, only raced at Thomas de Rio Hondo and got 24 points, which is pretty decent. Same points as Yogi, apparently, somehow. Not quite sure how. Oh, qualify would have been in qualifying positions. So starting off on 24 points, which is rather swell, as we are looking at Yogi currently in the pits, just chilling out. And let me use my mouse to pick someone else. Let's have a look at Hewis, who was really struggling with Kanzai. He's a second off the pace today, and having a couple of making a couple of mistakes. So the top 3 could be anybody's today, as Hewis goes within 1/10 of Jamsky in P1 for practice. But that's what's not important. What's important is actual qualifying and the race. Sorry, just going to move Discord out of the way. Can I join tonight's race? Sorry, someone wants to join the race. Hi guys, how's it going? It's going pretty well. Sorry, I'm just currently telling someone to join in. So just send a password. Join in, bud. Right, there we go. Hello, Mike. Sorry, I'm being very unprofessional right now. Discording here, there, and everywhere. So Jamsky takes P1 in the practice standings. J-Sky taking P2, Hewis in P3, Yogi in P4, Lemon in 5, Camel in 6th, Coulson in 7th, and Lando Morris Minor in P8. There will be a new driver joining in qualifying called Luton Boy, who has been in the community for a wee while, but is going to be a guest driver today. You guys have a Discord? We do! !Discord if you want to join our Discord, Mike. I believe it's !Discord. I could be completely wrong. Give it a go. This is if I sorted it out properly. I used to stream a lot on Twitch, and I've really not... Can anyone join? Well, it is the penultimate round of this particular league, but we have a new league starting up on a Wednesday night called the Ultimate Sim Racer Series, which anyone can join. All you have to do is just be a part of our Discord. Have AMS2. You don't have to have all the DLC either. And it'll be on Wednesday nights, starting at 8 PM BST. And it's basically going to be series of races. So we're going to start with the oval series. There'll be 4 races in one night. Short, snappy, to the point races. And we'll find out who is the ultimate PNR oval racer. And then we'll move on to the next round. Then we'll move on to the next round, move on to the next round. Until we have our ultimate sim racer who will actually win a trophy. What time zone are you in? We are in British summertime. Because we're based in the UK, but we have members from all over the world. In our Discord, and who get involved in our championships. It's just this one's a little bit late this evening. Yeah, if you want to join for the last round of the GT Cup, you can. You won't be able to join in now, sadly. Reply. How do I reply? But we might be doing it season 2. It just depends on what the community says, what their opinions are. But there is only 7 minutes left of 7 minutes left of qualifying. Why is it Pretty Ninja? Where did the name come from? So the name came from a school friend of mine from a long time ago. When we used to play Counter-Strike Source together. This was probably back in the year 2003? 2004? And we used to make montages together. And we came up with a little production company name, or he did rather, as Pretty Ninja. And I asked him at that time, could I just use this name for like the community, any plans and stuff that we're making? He was like, yeah, I don't see why not. And I've just used it ever since. So Pretty Ninja Racing, it just flows off the tongue. What's Pretty Ninja about it? Well, to be honest, it's a beautiful bunch of people that are in this community. We're all very humble, we're all very like different variations of skill range. Some of us are really good. Some people are learning for the first time. We've only been sim racing since like COVID pandemic and things like that. So it's a really lovely bunch of guys. And why are we ninjas? Because we're in the shadows of the sim racing community, and you know, and it can be a dark place, but you can find some beautiful souls out there and just looking to have a good time, good bit of fun, good clean racing, as hopefully you'll see this evening. And we'd like to do things a little differently. So yeah, so that's where the name comes from. I've been using it since 2003, really. On and off since 2003, I would say. But yeah, it was a good friend of mine called BD who originally came up with the name. I've just nicked it from him ever since. You've just joined us. I'm Bench Racer. Nice to meet you, Bench Racer. Mike, if you just make sure so you can see the rest of the Discord, make sure that you just hit the green tick in our read and accept terms and conditions, and you can see the general chat where we talk absolute rubbish. Luton Boy has just joined in, who's been a community member for a long time. He's a guest racer today. What car have they chosen? The 1993 Porsche. Very nice. But yeah, just make sure you accepted that. And then I'll post a link in the general chat a little later for the Ultimate Sim Racer competition. The more members we can get, the better. It'll be a great laugh. It's all for fun. It's nothing serious. There's no money involved. If you can't make one night, I'm not going to get aggro and kick you or anything like that. It's just fun. Just a good crack. And I feel like that's what a lot of communities are missing nowadays. It's all too serious. We'll also possibly be doing our own AC Le Mans race in the Hypercar series this Sunday. We just got to talk with the community about it this evening and see what we are going to decide to do. We were going to do a 3 hours in Silverstones, but it just doesn't look like there's going to be the numbers for it. So we're going to do our own little thing. Yeah, AMS2 servers have been dead lately. AMS2 is probably our go-to at the moment, but we are branching out to AC and ACC after we did the 9 hours of Kyle Army together. Like, we had 2 teams doing 9 hours. That was incredible. That was such a great experience. I'm still stoked about the fact that my team came 26th out of 46. I'm so proud of everyone. So proud of them. But yeah, AMS2 really need to get their act together with the ACC update that's come out, the 1.9 update, which has made the game much more interesting for me, to be honest. I like messing about with setups, and not that I really know what I'm doing, but I really enjoy messing around with setups. And the modding community on AC is just really, really good as well. And we do a bit of Dirt Rally 2 every so often as well, just to spice things up. That was really fun the other week. As a Luton Boy, well held, Luton Boy. Oh, that was a brown pant moment, but Jamski in the number 99 AMG Mercedes is currently topping the board with a 2-minute lap time. I told him that the AMG was going to be strong around here. He's got to keep his composure and get the race win he deserves. I love this game. I wish there were more people in the service. I agree, but they also need to do things a lot better. After the latest ACC update, these GT3s feel so slidey compared to ACC. It's ridiculous. Almost like you're almost driving on glass a little bit. But the rest of the game I absolutely adore. I haven't tried the new Nordschleife circuit yet. The old 1970s one. That should be quite a good crack. We'll have to do that in some classic formulas or something like that at some point. But they do need to make it... They need to give people a reason to play it. And at the moment, AMS2 doesn't have that. It's just like Project Cars 2. It's just like Project Cars 2 at the moment, the multiplayer. And they really... Oh, and Jamski's lost it. He just ate too much curb. So can Jay's guy capitalise on Jamski ruining that lap time with 1:19 to go? Can Jay's guy nick P1 over the time board? And he does by 3/10. 3/10. Now Jamski's not going to be able to get another lap time now because he's in the pits, or is he? Where is Jamski? Oh, he's just getting a change of tyres. And then he's going to get one more. Oh, no. That's Jamski out. That's Jamski done. So J Sky has pipped to P1 by 3/10. What's Hewis up to? Hewis has been struggling, but he seems to have pulled a bit of time out. Who else do we need to keep an eye on? Luton Boy, currently 2:08. Looks like they're on their final speeding run. Lando Morris Minor, who has changed their car from the McLaren to the BMW, and to be fair, doing a very good job. Not the easiest car in the GT3 class, to be honest. Well done getting the car stopped there, sir. Stuart the Lazy Camel. So who is going to be first over the line? Hewis is going to be first over the line with 1 second to spare. Oh, he's pulled out. He's pulled out right at the end. So the next person to cross the line is going to be Lando Morris Minor. Can he gain any positions? The top 5 drivers gain points in our championship. From 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 for P5. So can Lando increase his lap time? I think he can, you know. There is a lot of time to gain in there somewhere. Oh, he let off quite a lot there. Oh, a little bit late on the brakes. Just makes that left-hand corner very tight. Can't get on the power as early. And you need to along this long straight. But has Lando improved? He has up to P6. So Stewart's gone into the pits. So Stewart's dropped down to P7. What can Luton Boy do? This is looking rather quick. Up to P4. Well, would you Adam and Eve? J-Sky takes pole position in a penultimate round. That's kind of solidifying his championship win here. Currently, all he needs to do really is get a win, and he's pretty much good for the championship. Jamski in P2 with a very respectable 2-minute dead. The fact that we got two 2-minute dead lap times is fantastic. Lewis Hamilton takes P3 after struggling on the circuit all week in practice session. Luton Boy coming out of nowhere as our guest driver to take P4 in the qualifying positions. He won't gain any time, so it'll be Dark Yogi and Lemon getting the extra times today. Dark Yogi taking P5, Lemon taking 6, Lando Morris Minor taking P7 after that fantastic last lap gain in 2 seconds. Camel in P8 with a 2:04.2, and Mark Coulson, the South African, who has been struggling, rounds off our top 9 driver. First, we'll go to a quick advert for Fox Custom PC Builders, who are our main sponsor and my personal business. Then our intro, and we'll be straight into the race. Catch you in roughly 1 minute's time. So, almost race time in round 7 of the PNRGT3 Cup, Season 1. There might be more seasons, we'll just have to see what everybody says. J-Sky is our pole position leader. And we do things a little bit differently here, because when we started this championship, the rolling start system didn't work. Doesn't work, rather. And we used to get a lot of carnage off the start, so we do a manual formation lap. So Mike, if you're still there, make sure you grab yourself a cup of tea, coffee, beer, or beverage of your choice. Some popcorn. Because the first 2 or 3 laps is carnage. Oh, J-Sky was rolling a little bit there. Oh, I bet it's reset the pit limiter to like 60. It has, hasn't it? So basically everyone's on the pit limiter just to get the ball rolling. He needs to switch up a gear because otherwise he's going to be drinking a lot of fuel here. But yeah, Mike, get a snack of your choice. Get a beverage of your choice, sit back, relax, and enjoy what is going to be a good race, I think. Hopefully we'll capture all the carnage. So let's go through our positions once more time. J-Sky in P1 after a fantastic 2-minute dead lap time. Jamski in P2 in the AMG Mercedes will be hoping for his first race win today in the series. He's almost got there. He should have had it in Interlagos, but he threw it away. Lewis Hamilton will be very happy with a P3 qualifying position, I think, after how much he was genuinely struggling to get this car around Suzuka. Otherwise, he's usually very quick and consistent. Luton Boy, our guest driver, fantastic last lap to snatch P4 from Yogi, but Yogi will still get the P4 points because Luton Boy is a guest driver today and maybe a guest driver next week. Mike, if you manage to get the Discord server settings sorted out, you could also be a guest driver for the last round of the PNR Cup. In P6 we have Lemon, or Letterme, who, to be fair, had a pretty standard qualifying. I think there's a bit more pace in Letterme. He's just not very comfortable with the circuit. Lando Morris Minor, fantastic qualifying lap, puts him up to P7, gaining 2 seconds on his previous qualifying lap, and making the most out of the BMW's capabilities. Stuart the Laser Camel in P8, also a very good lap time. That's a very loud AMG. And at the very back here, our South African Mark Coulson. So who should we go on board with for the race start? I think we should go on board with Jamski, and let's see if we can put the pressure onto J-Sky early. Yogi went a little bit early there, but he is now back down to P5. As the pace car brings it up. I think, to be fair, the wisest person right now is Mark Coulson. With the amount of run that he has, let's go on board with the AMG. Oh, J-Sky's going into the pits. Why is everyone going into the pits? Everyone is pitting. Oh my days, what is this about? I'm not sure what they're doing there. They are just literally doing a couple of laps by the looks of it. Oh, it's because I put it to 50 minutes and there's still a bit to go. That Porsche's using a lot of fuel here. I'm not quite sure what they were doing there, but they could have started the race. I don't see why not, but never mind. That was quite ceremonial. Not quite sure what they were doing there, to be honest. I have to ask them afterwards. Because now it's going to be after 45 minutes. But there is plus 1 lap as well, so I guess that's not so bad. I was expecting him to go, to be honest, but here we go then. J-Sky, number 10 Porsche, doing the honours. Burning up a lot of fuel, but Jamski's looking quite fired up, to be fair. Oh, you can hear him going into second gear now. Everyone's pretty much ready. They must have all just agreed to go into the pit lane. So hopefully we will now get the actual race start. I'm going to take my hoodie off. I feel like this is going to be quite busy. green energy, apparently, from the gas guzzling AMG Mercedes. And they're gone. Jay's guys managed to put a nice little gap between himself and Jamski. Everybody seems to have gone pretty smoothly here. Not as hectic as previously. They didn't quite do it right, but credit where credit's due. Lewenboy looking down the inside of Lewis Hamilton. Our guest driver for today. It's further down the field, nothing's really changed. Everyone's kind of in a nice little tandem here. So we can see Jamski is starting to put the pressure on J-Sky. And it does look like that AMG is quite quick in Sector 1. Maybe it's Sector 3 that it starts to lose the time out a little bit. Lewis has got his work cut out with Lewenboy behind, but there's also this man, the Norwegian Viking, which is Yogi, looking to capitalise at any possible moment. You can see there's only 2 tenths between Lewenboy and Lewis, Lewenboy's looking to try and get an early gain. And I think he might have him here. He has. What a brilliant move by Lewenboy. And Lewis has dropped down to P4, which is hurting him in the championship. But basically, wherever Lewenboy finishes, the points will just go up, in all fairness. So Lewis Hamilton doesn't really need to worry too much about it. The rest of the field are pretty nicely spread. In lap 1, Yogi's managed to pull 3 seconds on Lemon. And the rest of the cars are pretty much in procession. Now let's see if it's in Sector 1 where the AMG just catches the Porsche up, which, to be fair, it really does. What a run by Jamski here. That AMG looks so solid through the corners. Is he going to try something into the hairpin, maybe? No. Taking an early line, gets on the power early. But J-Sky just gets the better run. And in the background, we can see Lewenboy's already pulled a 1 second gap between Lewis and Lewenboy. So Lewenboy is on the charge. Just trying to see lower down the field if there's any cars that are relatively close. This is the closest battle right now for P1. It's just down the straights that the AMG doesn't quite have the power. I think if he manages to get ahead of J-Sky, that will be a bit different. Let's go on roof cam through Sector 1 with Jamskin. We can see the difference in how the AMG handles compared to the Porsche. You can just see the AMG's able to carry so much more speed through the corners. You know what? I think Jammer's having to let off a fair bit there. He's not carrying as much speed as he was like. But the drive of that AMG, you can tell Jamski's casually driving here. I think J-Sky's actually relatively on the limit here. Oh, as Jamski goes down the inside, blocks off the cutback and takes P1. Brilliant manoeuvre there by Jamski. Now it's all down to J-Sky to keep the pressure on Jamski, but with the way that AMG's handling these corners, I'm not 100% sure what J-Sky can do. But his next worry really is Luton Boy, who is, well, 0.03 of a second faster than anyone else than the race leader right now, and looks to be on a bit of a mission. But we don't know what Luton Boy has got though, because Luton Boy, there is a mandatory pit stop, which hopefully he'll be aware of. So Luton Boy could be running a low fuel setup and then pit and then get more fuel, whereas I think the rest of these drivers will be doing the race length. And Luton Boy spun it on T2. Keep it safe, keep it going. Nice rejoin there by Luton Boy. He's lost 2 positions, which means Hewitt is back up to P3. But we can see here in Sector 1, Jamski is almost pulling a second off J-Sky. He has pulled a second on J-Sky in Sector 1 alone. So this AMG just needs to pull the time in Sector 1 and 2 and hope by the end of Sector 3 that J-Sky is too far away to make a manoeuvre. So Yogi has moved up to P4. Luton Boy is in P5. Keep going, Luton Boy, you'll be absolutely fine. Lemon in P6. Camel in P7th. Lando in P8, who has dropped a couple of plate, and Mark has gone off. It got a heavy front end damage. That's going to really affect the front aero. Oh, we just saw that in the background then. So that's a very damaged Porsche. Jamski is 8/10 going into Sector 3, so we'll see the straight line speed of the Porsche here catch up the heavy downforced AMG, who understandably gains a little bit of time in the quartering. Not much more anywhere else, so Jamski just needs to hold J-Sky off down the start-finish straight, and then he'll be able to gain a bit more time again, I think, or I feel rather. So this isn't the first time that Jamski's in P1. For his sake, I hope he holds on to it. He deserves a race win in this championship. He's been absolutely outstanding. And I think, to be fair, the whole community, even J-Sky himself, would be very happy if Jamski managed to get a race win. One person that is definitely hurting, though, is Hewis. Sat in P3. The battle for P2 in the championship is, well, it's nowhere near done. And this will help towards Jamski, especially if Jamski can get the fastest lap, because that's an extra 2.5 points. So it would be pretty mega. And I think Jamski has currently done the fastest lap of the race. Luton Boy's down to P8. Oh, it's Luton Boy DC'd. Luton Boy has pulled over. Yeah, I think Luton Boy sadly DC'd. as Mark Coulson is currently now in the pits. Oh, Loon Boy was having such a good run as well. As we're now having a look at P5 man Lemon, who is having quite a lonely race. 7 seconds behind Yogi in P4 and has lost it. Well saved. Oof. But that may allow Stewart to capitalise. He's going to have a lot more straight line speed than Lemon. And Lemon just about holds on to it. And Lando has also lost a bit of time, but I don't see any damage. So whether Lando's just got their pit out of the way, I'm not sure. Someone just pinged me a message. Loon Boy actually ran out of fuel. He's just informed me in the Discord. That's such a shame. That is such a shame. He was having such a good run as well. So we go on board with our race leader, who's now pulled a 2-second gap to J Sky. And I believe I set the fastest lap of the race so far. So we're almost 15 minutes into this race. Jamski is just got to put a nice little gap down. I think J Sky's let off a little bit. Just chilling out a little bit. I mean, the fact that he was 8/10 slower than Jamski tells me that he's either reserving a bit of fuel or just looking after the tyres so they run it just a little bit longer and pit that a little bit later. Yogi in P4 currently having a fantastic race. Long may that continue. As Mark Coulson is back out on track, isn't lapped, which is great. And technically, that's his mandatory pit stop done. So, in theory, Mark can now just keep going for the rest of this race. As long as this power in South Africa doesn't get cut out. Lando, currently 30 seconds behind Stewart. I don't believe he's had an incident. The car looks pretty good to me. Run wide there, but nothing too bad. Got to keep those points coming in. And Stewart is now keeping up with Lettermy. 2 AMGs. There are more AMGs driving tonight than Porsches. So AMG in the Constructors' Championship might do a little bit better now. Lando has done his stop. Thank you very much, Murph Dog. So Lando, being 30 seconds behind, will get the undercut on Lemon and Camel. Not necessarily Yogi, but definitely Lemon and Camel. But Smurf, I hope you're doing well this week. Hope you've had a good week. And I appreciate all the lurks in the video, in the stream. It's highly appreciated, everyone. Thank you very much. But yeah, maths off the top of my head. Although Lando has lost a fair bit of time this lap. So now he's 40 seconds behind, so I'm not so sure the undercut's now on, because I believe it's about 30-35 second pit stop. Running a bit wide there, a bit too much speed going in. So 7th and 8th have, theoretically, done their mandatory pit stop. Let's have a look at Camel. Stuart, who is the owner of SLP, who hosts our events, who's got involved in our events. He doesn't get involved in many, but he's got involved in ours, which is very, very good of him. Is currently keeping on to the rear end of Letterme. Hopefully both of these drivers can have a nice, clean race and gain some much needed points for their championship battles. As we're on board with the Viking, well, not on board, we're watching the Viking, who is keeping up with Hewis, J-Sky and Jamski. It looks like they've all slowed their pace just a little bit. Not much, just a little bit. And our race leader Jamski come around to finish lap 10. I think J-Sky is just managing that gap to Jamski to not let the wash affect the front tyres of that Porsche, especially through sector 1 with all of the fast sweeping corners. Hamilton's just chilling, not really feeling the pressure in front or behind. But let's do some very quick maths at the moment. So I know that Hewis is currently 6 points. Well, I know in this race will be 6 points out to Jamski based just on the race. Wrong one. That's what I want. So Hewis is only... What are we? Well, 6 points in the championship. And I know that Jamski has done a faster qualifying lap than Hewis, and currently he's done the fastest lap. So Jamski at the moment will overtake Hewis in the championship standings if it stays the way that it is right now. And Hewis has spun. Yogi's going to go through. Hewis is dropping even more points now. That's going to really have hurt the rear tyres there. Oh no for Hewis. But one driver would be going, oh yeah, it's J-Sky. Because depending on how it all works out, wow. Oh, as J-Sky comes into the pits, I think he's looking to try and do the undercut here. Now, is it going to be a quick splash and dash or a quick change of the front tyres and that's it? It's a very early pit stop. Well, actually, no, I suppose it's not. 20 minutes in. Not quite sure what they did there. Might have just been the front tyres. So he was 2 seconds behind Jamski. And as he comes out of the pits, he's 30, let's round out to 32 seconds behind. As Stuart is also coming to the pits. So it's a 30-second pit stop. So for Lando, I don't think that's really going to mean anything, sadly. I think Lando will be about 10 seconds behind Camel, depending if Camel comes out the same-ish time. Yeah, he kind of is. So one person that either needs to pit now or keep going is Jamski. It depends what sort of pace Jamski feels like he can consistently do. I mean, he's been breaking the 201s pretty easily. So whether he can keep doing that. Something else again. Another driver who's currently quite happy at the moment is Yogi. Hewis will not be though. Hewis will not be happy about that. But Yogi up to P2 might be able to get podium position today. We'll have to wait and see. Although Hewis is quicker than Yogi. So yeah, we will just have to wait and see. Is Jamski going to come into the pits with 20 minutes of the race left to go? 22 minutes of the race left to go. We're just going to do one more lap. If it was me, I might do one more, you know. My pace has been consistently better. And he is. He's doing it. He's doing it. His pace has been a lot better than everybody else's. As we take a look at Mark Coulson. Currently coming through Sector 1. Where's Lando? So Lando is only 2 seconds behind Camel. As Yogi now goes into the pit lane, which puts Hewis up to P2. Obviously, Hewis hasn't pitted yet. Is Yogi's going to be a really quick pit stop? It's not. As J Sky goes on through and does a 2:06 outlap. That's pretty good. Seeing as race pace is around about the 2:02 region, that's what Jamski's just done. So this could lead to an interesting end here. As Lemon now goes into the pits. Or is coming out of the pits. Stewart is just a little bit too far behind. I think Stewart's pit stop was a bit too long. You can see in the distance, very far distance, that Lemon has come out very easily. Lando's now only 3 seconds behind Stewart. So actually that early pit stop has done him some good in all fairness. Now this is the interesting gap. The gap is 32 seconds. That is how long the pit stop takes. So I actually think at this moment in time, if this in-lap isn't quick enough, J Sky will take the race lead, depending on what Jamski does. Depending on what Jamski does. So as Jamski, he's got to go into the pits now surely. He's only going to lose time. As he comes into the pits, here he comes. So 30 seconds, 29 seconds as he comes into the pits. Where is J Sky? Because this is the battle for the race lead. As Jamski goes in, no fuel, no tyres. And we're going. Are we going? Are we going? Are we going? Are we going? J Sky's coming around the pit lane and Jamski's coming out. Let's go to the roof. You can see Jamski just coming out of the pit lane now. Oh, and he's done it just as Hewis has just come into the pits. And there's still that 2 second gap. Brilliant pit stop there by the Jamski racing team. So we stay on board with J Sky just through the Sector 1. You can see how much more tentative he's got to be compared to Jamski. He's got to be so much more tentative on the power compared to Jamski through Sector 1. So Yogi is back to P3 and Hewis is still in P4. Again, if we go to Yogi, oh, to be fair, Yogi had to blip a little bit there. And now apart from P1, the rest of the field is pretty well spread. What does the map look like? The map is shocking, as always. Would be nice if AMS2 could fix that. So Letterme having a good race, to be fair. You can tell a couple of outlaps here. Hewis in-lap was 5 seconds slower than Jamski's in-lap. is Jamski's outlap going to be? Because J-Sky has broken the gap down to 1.4 seconds. I think Jamski's a better chaser, you know? So let's keep an eye on the timeline. This is the second white line. That one. And a 2:06. So, in all fairness to Jamski and J-Sky, they are pretty much even Stevens. But this is where you'll see that Jamski will pull it back to around about 2.5 seconds. There we go. You can just see Sector 1 is such a strong sector for the AMG Mercedes. Discord just pinging off there. So let's go and have a look at the other end of the field at Mark Coulson, who just needs to keep his race going. It looks like it's getting a bit darker. That's because it is. The track temperature is going to be falling a little bit. There is more cloud coming in. They don't know this. So there is heavy cloud coming in. By the end of the race, it'll be heavy clouds. It'll be, you know, a little bit darker. How will that affect the racing? I don't know. It might not. As Hewis is currently still 7 seconds behind Yogi in P3. Just wave hi to Drew Kenny, who's just joined our Discord server. If you want to join our Discord server, make sure that you type an ! Discord or check out the video description below. And Drew Kenny just left as well. As I said that. Never mind. People clearly don't like our terms and conditions, which is basically don't be a dick. That's essentially what our terms and conditions are. Anyway, moving on. Hewis needs to really pull something out of the bag here if he wants any hope of the championship win. I think, though, he's settling a little bit, but now this means that P2 in the championship is going to be quite the biggie. Oh, and Hewis has gone off. He's really not been happy with Suzuka. So Yogi could be getting a podium finish here. He's just got to keep it on the black stuff. As Jamski's currently lapping a second a lap quicker than J-Sky. So I think J-Sky is also settling. Realising that, you know, if Hamilton is not having that great a race, he can also take it easy. Because the reality is, Hewis was the only person that could actually challenge him for the championship lead. So 14 minutes to go of this mini Enduro series, the PNRGT3 Cup. If you're enjoying the stream, please make sure that you like and subscribe for future league racing and just general casual streams that I do as well, to be honest, on the PNR channel. We have a new league called the Ultimate Sim Racer, which will be coming up starting next Wednesday. If you type in ! Is it GT Cup? Yes, you'll see our GT Cup, which has only got one round left. But if you look on our community page on the SLP website, you will see another championship where there are specific rounds and actual trophies will be sent to the winner. Actual trophies, bespoke PNR trophies will be sent to the winner. So all is good there, in all fairness. So J Sky just chilling, 13 minutes left to go. They just need to bring it home, and so does this man Jamski. He just needs to bring it home. Gets into a rhythm. And bring that bobsleigh home. It's a gorgeous sounding car, isn't it? The AMG Mercedes on AMS2. It really is. Really lovely sounding car. Right, let's have a little look further down the field. We know that Yogi is having a rather tidy race as well, and hopefully he can keep that up. I would love to see the Viking on the podium after this race. Hewis is having a bit of a nightmare today. Not having a good time. It's clearly not doing enough pizzas. If you understand that reference, we can be friends. Lemonade. Having a pretty solid race. Keeping it calm, keeping it steady. He said that he's not been a massive fan of Suzuka's practice this time around. Although he is faster on this than he is in ACC. By 7 seconds, if I remember rightly. The Lazy Camel, the owner of SLP, who hosts all of the Pretty Ninja events currently, and for the foreseeable future, to be honest. Also having a rather tidy race. So everyone's having a rather tidy race, I feel. I think Lando in the BMW is also doing rather well. I need to remember to change his car afterwards. And Mark Coulson really does not like Suzuka, or he doesn't mind Suzuka. Just not a huge fan of it. It is a very technical circuit. It is deliberately been put into this calendar to stir things up a little bit. And I feel like that's what it's done. And we can see that the track is getting a lot darker. If we go on board with Mark, we can see that the cloud formation is getting thicker and thicker and thicker. Yeah, Mark's not enjoying Suzuka at all. So as we go on board with the championship leader, currently sitting pretty in P2. But to be fair, it's just done a 2/10 lap quicker than Jamski. Jamski's definitely cruising a little bit. All with 10 minutes to go is J Sky trying to put Jamski into a false security. Maybe. I want to say it, but I also don't want to say it. We are entering into the danger hour for all the drivers, but this one in particular. I'm not going to say anymore because I don't want to curse it. Commentators curse and all that whatnot, so we're going to come off him now. Yogi, P3 coming out of the final corner to start lap 19. What a fabulous drive from the Viking today. Excellent drive from the Viking. Really getting Team Jamyog some much needed points. I think they could win the team championship this race. I believe. With the way that the point structures work, I think they can. Previous lap, J Sky did a 2-minute dead. So has J Sky been, well, he's now got the fastest lap. He's now got the fastest lap of the race, which takes 2.5 points off of Jamski. But we can also see that Hewis is starting to put in some quick lap times as well. So we need to keep an eye on what's going on here. Jamsi could do with the fastest lap points. It's not necessary, but he could do with it. Let's see what the lap times are now between P1 and P2. J-Sky has definitely closed the gap a little bit. Not much, but definitely a little bit. He comes over the timing line. Yeah, there you go. 2 temps faster there by J-Sky. So J-Sky is trying to ramp up the pressure on Jamski for the final part of the race. Hopefully Jamski can just focus on his apexes and exits. I believe they are coming up. Oh no, they're not coming up to a back marker. Excellent. Hopefully no one will get lapped in this race, as Mark just takes his own racing line. Lando Morris Minor again having a very smooth race. He had a very good race. As for Mr. Rio Hondo, he just changed his tyres too early. 10 minutes too early, in fact. Which ruined the race for him. He was on the charge for a P4 finish. So hopefully he'll feel like he's... oh, get off the grass. There we go. Hopefully he feels like he's had a good race, because I think he has. Stewart, currently in P6. Driving nice and smooth. Connection's looking a lot better for Stewart today, which is good. Usually it's a little bit sporadic. Let me again, just cruising. Absolutely chilling. GT3 doing 203 flats. Can't go wrong with that. Now Hewis is lapping almost 2 seconds a lap quicker than Yogi. With 4 laps to go, could Hewis gain back P3? The answer is, I don't know. Jamski comes over the timing line to start lap 21. With pretty much 6 minutes left on the clock. And J-Sky puts in a new fastest lap of the race of a 2-minute flat, 0.4. J-Sky is meaning business. I think J-Sky... Oh, I really don't know how this is going to make the championship look after all of this. I really don't know. Could it go down to the last race of the season? The hardest race at Adelaide. Street race to finish it all off in the GT3s. It's just a straight line speed that's hitting that AMG right now. Cornering wise is absolutely wonderful, but straight line not so good. As Hewis Lamilton has done a 201 and now has Yogi in his sights. Can he keep it on the track though? If Hewis can get P3, that completely throws what I said earlier about a championship out the window. You will only be 4 points behind Jamski. And Jamski won't have the fastest lap. And I believe he's only 1 point higher in the standings. So I think there might only be 1 point between them if he can get P3. All depending on if this man can get the fastest lap of the race. If he can get the fastest lap of the race and win, he will definitely go ahead of Hamilton. Lamilton, sorry. Hewis Lamilton. So what is Jamski as he comes over the line, starts lap 22? Oh, he's dropped down to a 2-2. And so is J-Sky. I think J-Sky's been pushing his tyres a little bit too much there. That will calm Jamski down a little bit. race leader. Brilliant race so far. Just needs to keep it going for 3 more minutes. Well, 5 more minutes really, with the +1 lap and the end of the time. Can the Viking hold off Lewis Hamilton? I'm not so sure, you know. Yogi is very difficult to overtake, but that difference is almost 2 seconds a lap. For a 45-minute race, this has been incredibly close. Which is always the case in the PNR. There's always some very close battles to finish the race. The rest of the field are quite nicely spread. So we'll keep an eye on P1 and 2, the battle for P1. But we'll mainly keep an eye on the battle for P3. Because Lewis needs this. Lewis needs to finish 3rd. He needs to. 1, to stay or keep ahead of Jamski in the battle for P2 in the championship, but 2, to also keep up a better likelihood that he could win the championship on the final day. So 2 laps remaining, including this one. So we'll finish on lap 24. And we'll keep an eye on Yogi, who's just done a 2:02.4, and Hamilton's done a 2:01.8. So Yogi has found a 2nd in 1 lap. Yogi will want this as much, if not more, than Lewis. But there are this lap plus 1 more to go. Lewis, I tell you what, the AMG for Jamski may be working wonders, but it's not always. Lewis definitely ran a little bit wide there. .3 seconds is the difference. It could be a final lap lunge for Lewis. As the gap now to P1 is 3 seconds. So I think J Sky has definitely conceded the race win. It's just whether Jamski can keep it clean to the end. I don't know who to root for here. I'm going to root for Yogi. Nothing against US, but I would love to see the Viking on the podium in this championship. The progression that the Viking has gone through from only starting sim racing about 1.5 years ago to what he is now is incredible, and I'm so proud of him. When he first joined our community, could barely race, and that's putting it politely, but he's really messed up that last chicane there, the Viking. Lewis is going to have a go. I think he has to. This is the last lap. Lewis has got the inside edge. Yogi squeezed him out. I think that's completely fair there. Good defensive driving there by Yogi. Lewis did have a little bit of car length over, but not enough. We will have to keep an eye on this battle because it's definitely going to be a close one. So we take a look at our race leader. Whereabouts are they? They've gone around the hairpin. And now coming up to the back straight. Now, has Hewis conceded? Because he's 8 attempts behind here. And he's not got that many corners left to go. But J-Sky has got the fastest lap of the race away from Jamski. So Jamski needs Hewis to hold on. Or he needs his teammate here to do him a massive favour. And Hewis is on a mission. That Porsche is in full attack mode right now. As Jamski comes around the final corner to get his first win in the PNRGT3 Cup in the penultimate round. Congratulations, Jamski. Great race win there. You'll be so happy with that. But here is what's important for the championship. Is Hewis going to have a go? Is he close enough? He is using as much road as possible, but that's also caused a lot of dirt. Yogi's taking it tight. I think Yogi's got this. Yogi has got this. He just needs to keep the foot down. Keep the foot down, Yogi. Yogi is going to get P3 in the PNRGT Cup. Congratulations, Yogi. You're on the podium, my guy. From a month and a half ago, from barely able to race on race room to getting your first podium in the championship. Absolutely, my guy. You do them donuts. Oh, I'm so happy for you, my man. Oh, well done. Hewis has got a big job to do in Adelaide now if he wants to get the championship win. And it's a race to the end here for P5. I think Lemon's got this. Lemon followed by Stewart takes P6. Lando Morris Minor also having a very good race. So proud of all of these people. They've had such a good race this evening in the penultimate round. Super happy for the AMG boys, especially Yogi. As Lando comes over the line to take P7 and Mark Coulson comes to the final chicane to round us off in the penultimate round of the PNRGT3 Cup with a P8 position for the South African. Completed. Congratulations. Let's have a look at those standings once they load. There we go. So there's your race winner, ladies and gentlemen. PNR Jamski getting his first race win of the GT3 Cup. It's long overdue. We should have won it in Interlagos, but never mind. PNRJ's guy finishes second, but also gets in. Well, one of the most importantly is that he's got the fastest lap of the race, getting him an extra 2.5 points in the championship, which could seal the deal. Yogi in P3, first podium for the Viking through a whole race length distance. Brilliant race there for Yogi. Hewis Hamilton in P4, really struggling around Suzuka today. That one mistake was quite costly in the end. Lemon finishing P5, Stewart in P6, Lando in P7, and Mark Coulson in P8. Whew. What a race. It's now quite dark here at VCPB HQ. I hope you enjoyed that race. Make sure you like and subscribe. The ultimate sim racer is going to be starting a week on Wednesday. Make sure you join our Discord, !Discord, or check out the link in the description below. The more people we have in that, the better. There is a genuine trophy on offer as well. Yeah, hope you really enjoyed that. Like and subscribe, and I will catch you for the final round next Monday in Adelaide. Who's crowned PNRGT3 Season 1 Cup champion. But until then, see you later. Damn, that was some good racing.